Hello everyone. I think I'm all in the right spot. Hopefully technology is going to work with us today. I've got everything set up. Hopefully we won't be having any of that buffering that we had last week, because that was a bit annoying. So hopefully it's all working smoothly today. If you're coming in, jump in, say hi. Again, I won't be able to see who's actually commenting, but I will be able to see your comments, so I will be able to respond to them. I hope you're all keeping well. So today we are going to be casing the front catalogue of the Celebration catalogue. Whoops, where's my camera? So we're going to be casing one of these cards. We're actually going to be doing that one. It's weird. This one doesn't flip me. It's not a mirrored look. It's so everything that you see is around the right way. So assuming that we're going well, I just have a few little reminders while people are jumping in. So first of all is I am running, and you're probably going to think I'm a little bit crazy. Hello everyone who are just coming in. I just mentioned before that I can't see who's commenting, but I can see your comments, so feel free to comment, and you can even pop your name alongside if you want, so that I know who's chatting. So I've just got a few little things to chat through first. I have kicked off my Christmas stamper stacks, and I know you probably think that I'm totally mad for doing Christmas stamper stacks, but I tell you what, it is so nice to be organised by the end of the year. So come October, November, when you're frantically thinking, oh no, I've got to start my Christmas cards, you can just pull out your stash and your Christmas cards are already there. So these are the cards that we're making first for March. I'm hoping that I've got my iPad on a little bit of a stand here, and it's not the most sturdy, so I'm hoping that there's not too much shake and wobble going on. So these are the Christmas stamper stacks. Now you make 10 of them in this kit. So all materials are pre-cut. Details are on my blog. It's $20 for the kit, and you'll make 10 cards, and they will all be posted out to you. So details are on my blog for that if you wish to sign up. I think I've got registration closing around the 14th or 15th of March. So jump on board if you would be interested in having that kit. So today, as I said, we're going to be casing one of the cards on the cover of the Celebration catalogue, because there's generally one or two cards that you want to have a go at, and the ones on the cover are usually a little bit more involved. So they're not difficult, but they do take a little bit of working out what they've actually done. So we're playing with this stamp set. I'll just get rid of that so you can see it properly. So it's the Amazing You, which is one of the free Celebration stamps. Now this is a level 1. So, oh, Lois, thank you. Yes, you noticed my craft room. I know, I'll come back in a moment and we can have a closer look at that. So it's the Amazing You stamp set. It's a level 1 stamp set, and to go with it, we are also using the Celebrate You thinlits, and these are a level 2 celebration item. These ones will be carrying over into the annual catalogue, so you will be able to purchase them if you haven't managed to pick them up for free. And just while we're chatting quickly about Celebration, don't forget that if you join my team, we've got, what's there? I think there's 3 weeks left of 3 weeks left of March, 3 weeks left of Celebration, and it will be Easter time at the end of March, so you probably may tend to forget in the last couple of days as well. But so if you're joining Stampin' Up, so it's $235, and you get to, you get to choose $235 worth of product for just $169, but you also get to choose 2 additional stamp sets for free. Now on my team we have business demos, we have hobby demos, and we have happy shoppers. So if you're interested in any of those tiers, the joining kit's still the same, and it's just a matter of how much you want to put into Stampin' Up as to whether you're a business, a hobby, or a happy shopper. So, and the last thing I've got to show you is, of course, our code, our online code for March. So if you are shopping this month and you want to pay full price, you know, if you're a happy shopper, you save your 20% discount. But if you are shopping online during March, use the code, and if you're spending over $50, then I will send you a small thank you gift in the mail. So I know now Lois, oh, I can just see the top of my phone there. Lois pointed out my lovely clean craft room. Look at that. It's nice and clean. How exciting is that? I'm pretty excited about that. And it stayed like that for a whole week so far. Like the whole bench is clear. It is not cluttered or anything. So, and it's really nice to, while I'm sitting here working, to be able to, because I used to have to get up and go to the other end of my bench to get my ink pads, but now everything's just here, and it's really nice. So I'm excited about that. So let us swing around and get cracking with this card, because it does have a lot of information, like a lot of detail in it. It's not a hard card, but there is a lot of detail. So let's swing around and we can get started. So I'm going to start with, and my card is slightly different to the one on the cover, because when I was preparing these for Link and Learn yesterday, I somehow managed to mess up my measurements of my designer series paper. So whatever, you know, it still looks fine. I'm sure that if I was giving it to somebody, they would never know what the original one looked like. So hello everyone coming in. Okay, so I'm starting off with a base of Calypso Coral, and this, I really quite like this as an orange. It's just really nice and sort of like a mellow orange. So, and then we're going to be having a layer of I'm gonna not think of the words here, so let me just grab this. It's Pop and Fizz or something, Bubble and Fizz. Bubbles and Fizz. So it's actually from the designer series paper. So, and this one's great. So even though it's part of the Bottles stamp set, which I don't have, this has got a really good, it's got bottles on the other side, which obviously I'm not going to use, but the patterns on them are really quite nice. Now, if we're casing the card directly from the catalogue cover, then this would be the full size of the card, but you know, whatever. So I'm going to pop them aside, and I've got in a base of Calypso Coral, and now I have embossed already because I didn't want it to be too noisy, and so I'm going to be stamping a little bit backwards. So I'm hoping that my images are still going to show up quite nicely. So that was this sort of starburst one down here. So I'm hoping, grab the right one. I'm hoping that I can still get a good impression even though I'm stamping over the top of embossing. So I need a block, I think. So I'm actually doing some stamping. Hello everyone. Okay, so, and this is just pretty easy. Oh, there we go. Look, that's not too bad. So we just want a couple of images on our base and our layering, and that's sort of going to be it for that moment. So we're just going to pop that aside, and actually no, I'll continue to make this. I've got to try and remember everything that I did. So the next bit is to pop down some Whisper White baker's twine. I'm just going to wrap that around twice and tie that in a knot. Now I find, oh, you'll have to excuse, my youngest one is doing the dishes, and I don't know whether you can hear him banging and clanging down there in the kitchen, but he's a good boy. So tie that, and I find it easy to tie it in the center and then just sort of scoot it along to the side. That way I know, you know, it's not so harsh trying to get that tied evenly. So just scoot that along. Okay, now I can put that aside, I think. Should I? Yes, I will, because the next step's a bit fiddly. So we needed to stamp and emboss, and I've done that already as well. I don't know whether you can see that correctly, but I've stamped and embossed the flower on shimmer card, and I have used Whisper White embossing powder. Now I'm assuming that I'm good. I'm not buffering or anything like that. I think everything's going quite well. So I just want to start with, and I'm just going to check my, nope, that's all good. So just with an aqua painter, and it doesn't even have to be really very neat. So just with an aqua painter, and I'm just going to just, you know, really roughly cover that. Doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm just going to let that one dry for a moment. Bring in my trusty paper towel. So while I let that one dry, I'm just going to grab my lemon lime twist. So I was working with crushed curry, and that's another boo-boo that I made. It was supposed to be daffodil delight, but you know, no one's going to know that I stuffed up the colours when I'm, if I give this card to somebody, they're not going to know. So, and then I'm just going to throw down some green and sort of extend it over and around. So it's not even neat. It's not even neat colouring. So that's what I've got so far. I'll find my camera. And then that dries pretty quickly because I'm not, you know, paying too much attention to it. And so the next little bit is some Calypso coral in the centre of it. So, and then we just sort of want to pop that down, not being too fussed. So you end up, so now you'll need 3 of these, okay? You need to do 3 of them, and that's what I end up with. So nothing too spectacular, and then we want to cut them out. So I have got 3 of them made in advance. Whoops, flinging them around. So we've got 3 of them all nicely coloured and cut out, and you'll notice that because the leaves are a bold image, once you've got that green going on, it's sort of like a reverse image. So this one looks like it's coloured, but then this one's sort of a little bit different. So then we need to bring this piece back in again, and this is where it gets really fun because we want some of this silver thread. Now I've kept it in the plastic because it just likes to unravel. So you'll probably want about an arm's length, and I'm stretching out a full length. And I'm going to wind it around. I found that having my fingers tight together gives me 2 smaller circles, so I'm going to just keep my fingers separated a little bit and whoops, wind that around, which of course it doesn't want to meet. So I'm just going to hold on to this for a little bit because what I'm going to do is put some snail down, but I'm going to pop it on just on either side of my baker's twine. Get that out of the way because then I'm just going to try and loop it around and stick it down, because I found that if it isn't wide enough, the flowers tend to take up the whole, whoops, can't pick it up. You end up not being able to see it basically. So you want it quite like top and bottom. And by having that adhesive, you can sort of stick it. Sort of. Okay. It's not particularly neat, but you know, that's okay. That doesn't matter. Okay, the next step is to pop our flowers on. And now I'm just going to stick them all flat. I'm not actually going to put any dimensionals on these because you'll see that there's actually a lot going on. So we want the first one to come down this way. Now, if you look at the picture in the catalogue, there is, let me see if I can get close to you. Can you see this thing here? I was looking and looking and looking and I'm thinking, what the heck is that? And, you know, I can't, well, I can see, but, you know, it was a bit of a strain. I was trying to figure out what it is. And in the end, I come to the thinking that it is possibly a snippet of doily, maybe. So I'm just going to snip off, and if it's not, bad luck, because that's what I'm putting. And you know what? No one will know. So I'm going to stick that below. So I just need to pop a bit of tape on the back of my flower. So if anybody has any other ideas of what that could possibly be, let me know, but that's the only thing that I can think of, is that is a tiny little piece of doily. So, and then I'm just going to trim that a little bit off. Okay, and then that whole flower then gets taped. Hello, it is a doily. Do you reckon it's a doily? I think it's a doily. So pop that one there, and then our final one. Like I said, it's not a hard card. We made 2 of them Wednesday for Link and Learn. And I must admit though, I did do all the embossing of the flowers beforehand, because we have 2 hours plus a morning tea, and there was no way that we would have all got all of the embossing done, because we do 2 cards at Link and Learn. We needed 6 flowers embossed. Okay, so that's what I've got going on now. I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit closer. Let me just stand up and, yeah, look at that. A little bit closer. And then we need a little strip of vellum. So there's a lot going on, and I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm not going to be particularly accurate. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a doily. Took me a little while to figure out what it was. So okay, so the next is I'm just going to adhere that on top of all of that. Oops. So, and I'm not too fussed. Oh, you can't see my snail anyway. I was going to say I'm not too fussed if you can see my snail or not. So we've got that. Whoops. I don't know whether I'm wonky or not. My iPad's wobbling, so I don't know whether that's transferring over to you. Now from the thinlets, I have cut out the Amazing, and this is from Bermuda Bay. So I'm just going to use a 2-way glue pen for this, because I do find it a lot easier than the Tombow, and I wish we still had them. I wish they would bring them back. Okay, now I always go to stick this on the wrong way, so I'm going to stick that on over the top of the vellum. So are we all just watching nice and intently? Not a lot of chatter going on. It's hard because I can't tell who's chatting, but I can definitely see your comments. Okay, and then the next, I lined up all of my stamps, all of the You, To Me, Are Simply, and I lined them all up, and I had, you know, a stamp had one stuck on upside down, but it doesn't matter because we're just going to, I should have done this beforehand too, shouldn't I? We're just going to roughly cut them out. I love it when, you know, you just cut your words out and it doesn't really matter whether your lines are like you're straight or not. Sort of gives it a bit more of a rustic feel. Okay, You. So this is all on shimmer as well. Alright, and the last one. Who's running late? Someone's running late. Okay. They're a bit fiddly, but okay, squish that away. Right, so again, just with my 2-way glue pen, I'm going to pop the To Me in, whoops, upside down, Miss Jane. Pop that in there, and then for the other sentiments, I'm actually going to work backwards, so I'm going to put Are Simply next. Actually, I might use, where's those little minis? These ones here. I think I've cut it enough that I can use them. Oh, I should have all my little thingies up there, shouldn't I? Oh, you can't really see. Put that one up there. So, Simply, and it's great because you don't even have to stick these on straight either, because everything's cut wonky. It doesn't really matter if you're not sticking them on straight either. Fiddly little things. Okay. You are simply amazing to me. Now, I didn't even stick that on, did I? So I will stick that on. On my base. Now, this should be a full piece, but of course it's not. I was cutting full pieces for everybody else at Lincoln Learn, and when I'd finished cutting them, I was like, oh, my piece is so short, but it didn't matter because it's fine. Okay, and then we're going to use dimensionals to pop these up. Oh, good. I'm glad it came in. So you'll have to try casing these cards. I mean, sometimes you look at the cards on the cover and you know, some of the really detailed ones, and you think, oh my goodness, there's, you know, so much going on in them. But they're not, there's a lot going on, but they're not a difficult card to create. So give them a go. And sometimes it's nice to do something a little bit over the top as well. You know, you've really got a substantial card going on. So then I'm just going to stick that on, and then you sort of think that you're finished, but you're not, because when you look, there's still more embellishments. So we've got lots of embellishments going on the card. Now I need a little picky upper tool, but I want to get the 3 different sizes, but they're tricky, aren't they? I need one of those little sticky tool things. There's one. Oops. There's one. There we go. Got them all. I don't mind that having, because then I had to shrink the size of this card as well, because I cut everything else wrong. I had to change the size of the layer, so it's not exactly the same as the cover, but that's okay. What was I going to do? I was going to put the lid on my good scissors so that I don't get them mixed up with my bad scissors. Okay. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Woolsey. It was a happy mistake then, wasn't it? Cutting my cardstock the wrong size. Should I put this one down here? Oops. Scooting along. There we go. So there we have the finished card. So not too difficult, and like I said, the colouring in doesn't take hardly any time at all. And because we were at Lincoln Learn, this is the one we did at Lincoln Learn. The yarn I need to come back and stick a little bit more stuff going down. It sort of popped up again. That's the one we did, and then I did another one. Oh my gosh, where is it? I've lost it. Oh, here it is. And because we do Lincoln Learn, and of course I've only got 1 sheet of each of the designer series paper in my packs, and I didn't have enough of the orange, so we also made a yellow based one. And like I said, I stuffed up. I was cutting all my papers and I had all my cardstock cut, and then I realised that this card should have been Daffodil Delight and not Crushed Curry, but you know, it's another one of those things where I'm sure that if you received it, you'd be happy to receive it. So there's one in orange. And then, just if you haven't seen my blog, I had some new cards put up because I cleaned all of my room. I'll come back to me, see, because I cleaned my room and everything's nice and tidy behind there. I actually found a pile of, well, I didn't find it, I knew it was there, it was just hidden under everything. But I had a pile of all those brush-o techniques that I was showing you, and I had all the card bases from that. So I created a couple of cards. So where's my camera? So there is one of them that was the brush-o on shimmer and using the starch. So I don't think you can see the shimmer going on there. So, and the other card, which is exactly the same layout, which is one from Freshly Made Sketches, and that's the other one. Woo, find my camera. There we go. So I've used up a couple of backgrounds. I've got a couple more cards later on to show you on my blog as well, but I've got a nice pile of stuff there that I need to turn into cards, and I did some colouring in one weekend, so I've got to turn all them into cards as well. So that is pretty much it. So thank you very much. I'm just checking my time because I can. Hope it all went nice and smoothly. Hope there wasn't any buffering. Hope the sound was all good. So I didn't see any comments saying that they couldn't see. So hopefully it's all working out really well, and I've got this little system thing up and running again. So thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you again next Thursday night with something else to make. See ya!